My brothers and sisters, the Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Each year, Jesus' parents went to Jerusalem for the feast of Passover, and when he was 12 years old, they went up according to festival custom. After they had completed its days, as they were returning, the boy Jesus remained behind in Jerusalem, but his parents did not know it. Thinking that he was in the caravan, they journeyed for a day and looked for him among their relatives and acquaintances. But not finding him, they returned to Jerusalem to look for him. After 3 days, they found him in the temple, sitting in the midst of the teachers, listening to them and asking them questions. And all who heard him were astonished at his understanding and his answers. When his parents saw him, they were astonished. And his mother said to him, "Son, why have you done this to us? Your father and I have been looking for you with great anxiety." And he said to them, "Why were you looking for me? Did you not know that I must be in my Father's house?" But they did not understand what he said to them. He went down with them and came to Nazareth, and he was obedient to them. And his mother kept all these things in her heart. And Jesus advanced in wisdom and age and favor before God and man. The Gospel of the Lord.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to St. Greg's. A special welcome to those here for the baptism following Mass. The Fornacieros, Serge, yeah, Janice, and then the Valens, I think, are also here. Welcome. Any visitors, glad you're here. A couple of announcements before the homily. First and foremost, Tuesday, as was mentioned in the announcements at the beginning of Mass, is a holy day of obligation. It's the solemnity of Mary, the Blessed Virgin Mary, as Mother of God. And it is a holy day of obligation. The Church states that if you do miss Mass that day, that you should go to confession. It is it's grave matter. So just to make sure that you are all aware, please come and join us for Mass Tuesday for that holy day of obligation. Our Masses are 7, 8, and noon. We also have a vigil tomorrow evening, which is at 5:30. The only Mass tomorrow morning is going to be the 8 a.m. Mass. So if you know anyone that frequents the 7 or the noon, please let them know that our Mass tomorrow morning is only the 8. Homily. Today we celebrate the feast of... I got to reset my clock here. All right. Today we celebrate the feast of the Holy Family, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. And as I pondered the readings in this feast, I felt really 3 key words come to mind. The first word is humility, the second word is mercy, and the third word is love. Before I get into the homily part of those 3 words, it was said, I think, from a priest friend of mine. He told me that it was a Jesuit from France in the 1600s that was really pushing hard to make this feast day a regular part of the church calendar. So every Sunday after Christmas, we celebrate the Feast of the Holy Family. And apparently it was such that they were doing this, that he was pushing for this feast because family life was really troubled in those times. And I don't know about you folks, but I think family life is under persecution once again today. Families are the core of our society. Families are what make up a society. And it is crucial that we are aware of how important it is to live out your vocation in your family. So, the first reading from Sirach points to how important it is that we take care of our parents. Very important to take care of our parents. And I don't know about you all, I try and take care of my mom. And sometimes I get frustrated, right? It's sometimes you're like, oh my gosh, I wish she would do things my way. Mom, I hope you're not watching on the internet. Hi, Mom. But it really calls for me to be humble. Humility is so important that we not be concerned with ourselves, but rather for the individual that we're looking out for, taking care of. We shouldn't be judging them. We should be accepting them and helping them. Humility is very difficult, but it's a virtue that we should all focus in on. It's important for the family as well. Even kids, being humble and taking care of your parents. You know how important that is. They need you to step up and take care of your role. Whatever it is, clean your room. Humble yourself, clean your room. That leads me into the second word, mercy. Now, mercy, you have to be humble in order to be merciful. Mercy is undeserved forgiveness, right? It's if you do something to me and you really, really infuriate me, I have to be a person of mercy. I have to forgive you even though you may not deserve it. Mercy being, it's undeserved forgiveness. Our families have got to have that virtue of mercy. Mercy is so intimately tied with love. In the second reading to the Colossians, Paul points to love being the bond of perfection, but mercy is right there. We have got to embrace the family members that we may have been spited by or whatever. Forgive them, even though they may not deserve it. That's the second virtue or word that is crucial for our families to stay tight. We have to be merciful with one another. Finally, and my favorite part of the homily, because I get to sing, it's Cats in the Cradle. We all know the words. I want you to sing the refrain with me. And the cat's in the cradle and the silver spoon, little boy blue and the man on the moon. When you're coming home, Dad, I don't know when, but we'll get together then. Yeah, we'll have a good time then. Very, very, very beautiful song, Harry Chapin. Google it, servers. You probably haven't heard it. It's a good one. But if you ever listen to the words of Harry Chapin's song, The Cat's in the Cradle, it's a song that describes a relationship between a father and son. The father never made time for the son throughout his whole life. And right when he's at his ripe old age and he wants to spend time with his son finally, the son never finds time to be with him. And the dad ends up saying, the boy grew up just like me. The whole point of this song to me is time. Love was the third word. The greatest expression of our love for our family members is our time. It is our undivided attention, not playing with the cell phones and everything else. It's one-on-one. It's our time. And I think we need to spend more time with our family members. I don't know about you, but it seems to me like our priorities in life, in our culture, are a little out of whack. Everything else comes before God and family, and I think we need to bring that back. God and family, spend time with our God and our family. That's what was going on in the gospel today. The family was going to the temple, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. I know Jesus kind of got a little sidetracked and didn't follow his family, but he was praying. So that would be my point for the third word of love. We have to spend time with our family members. New Year's is coming. It's a couple days away. As we contemplate and think about the family life in our culture today, perhaps it's a resolution for all of us, each and every one of us. Can we be more humble? Can we be more merciful? And can we give our time out of love for our family members?